Thomas L. Jennings, the forgotten inventor who revolutionized laundry. When we think of groundbreaking inventions, most people imagine airplanes, telephones, or electricity. But history proves that even something as everyday as cleaning your clothes can change lives and make history. This is the story of Thomas L. Jennings, a free black man in 19th century New York who invented the modern process of dry cleaning and became the first African American to hold a U.S. patent. His achievement wasn't just about cleaner coats, it was about breaking barriers in a nation still steeped in slavery. And if you love untold stories like this, remember, every like and subscribe helps us shine light on the innovator's history almost forgot. Thomas Jennings was born in 1791, a free man of color at a time when most African Americans in the United States were enslaved. From a young age, he showed a keen eye for craftsmanship and an entrepreneurial spirit. In New York City, he apprenticed as a tailor and eventually opened his own clothing shop. Customers came to him for elegant suits and dresses, but they kept running into the same frustrating problem. Expensive garments made from delicate fabrics were easily ruined by ordinary washing. Wool shrank, silks lost their luster, and stains seemed impossible to remove without destroying the garment. Jennings, always inventive, saw opportunity where others saw despair. Through trial, error, and experimentation, Jennings developed a process he called dry scouring. Unlike traditional washing with water, his method used solvents and cleaning agents that lifted dirt and stains without damaging fabric. This innovation was revolutionary. Wealthy clients who once wrote off ruined clothes now had hope, and Jennings quickly built a reputation not just as a tailor, but as a man who could restore and preserve fine garments. In 1821, Jennings applied for and received a patent for his dry scouring process, making him the first African American ever granted a U.S. patent. But here's where the story gets even more remarkable. At that time, U.S. patent law flatly excluded enslaved people from holding patents, since enslaved individuals were legally considered property. Jennings, however, was free, and that made all the difference. His patent was legal and recognized, a landmark moment for African Americans in the world of science and invention. Yet there was a cruel catch. While Jennings had the patent, the actual profits from his process often slipped into the hands of intermediaries. Others in the industry replicated his methods and reaped much of the financial reward. Still, Jennings used the money he did earn for something bigger than himself. Instead of hoarding his wealth, Jennings poured his profits into the abolitionist movement. He was a vocal advocate for racial equality, serving as Assistant Secretary of the First Annual Convention of the People of Color in Philadelphia in 1831, one of the earliest national gatherings of free black leaders. He donated money to legal defense funds, supported schools for African American children, and worked alongside organizations fighting for emancipation and civil rights. For Jennings, his invention wasn't just about business, it was about progress. Even his family carried forward his legacy of activism. His daughter Elizabeth Jennings became a civil rights pioneer in her own right. In 1854, nearly a century before Rosa Parks, she refused to give up her seat on a segregated New York streetcar. Dragged off by force, she sued the streetcar company and won, helping lead to the eventual desegregation of public transportation in the city. The Jennings family, it seems, never shied away from challenging injustice. Thomas Jennings died in 1856, but his contributions endure in ways few people recognize. Every time clothes are dry cleaned today, his spirit lingers in that process. He wasn't just a tailor or inventor. He was a trailblazer who used his skills to carve open a space where African Americans could innovate, earn patents, and fight for freedom. His life reminds us that genius often blooms in the margins of society, in places history tries to ignore. So the next time you drop off a suit or dress at the cleaners, remember the man who started it all, Thomas L. Jennings, the inventor who cleaned more than fabric. He cleaned a path toward progress. And if you want more hidden stories of courage, innovation, and resilience, like and subscribe. Yahweh Stories 444. Together we'll keep digging up the voices they tried to bury.